CRiiiME is a show where I, Rich Slaton, read a true story about lawbreakers.
With his horny co-host, John Shefsky.
That is the creepiest horn dog voice you've ever done on this show.
That's
that
more of my Joan. It's my Joan
NPR
Shefsky voice.
softly touch the back of your neck voice.
Goosebumps gets me hard. The movies, the books, and the things on your skin.
This is too much for me.
If you play the music, I might come. Sorry, Mom.
Don't play it.
Don't play the music? This is the first time we don't play the music.
You know what? Play it.
Okay, play the music.
CRiiiME is the show that starts now.
Like right now?
Oh, yeah, do your line.
Okay. Each week, Rich reads a real crime story. I don't know a word that rhymes with story.
And my homie John always has the hot riff. He really loves it when you send...
Don't send anything to me. Don't you dare.
CRiiiMEpodcast@gmail.com.
Don't you send
Label
anything.
it John Shefsky. He loves them. Make sure the lighting's really good.
What's up, criminals? Welcome back. I'm really hoping that Shefsky abandons that NPR voice before I have to run out screaming.
You don't like my sexy, horny voice?
And sometimes, oh man,
It's like velvet.
sometimes you have a friend
It's like
who
velvet stuffed
just
into a condom.
continues to objectify you and make you sexually uncomfortable. And in that case, you might want sexual discomfort insurance from our buddies at C3 Risk and Insurance Services. My buddy Joe Erle. Man,
my
I
buddy
have known
too.
him for, oh my God,
He's
that
so
voice
hot.
is so disturbing. Joe Erle is an insurance broker. He'll go out and find the best insurance for you for whatever needs you have. Car, home.
Creepy co-host insurance?
Creepy, uncomfortable co-host insurance.
I like it when you're uncomfortable, baby.
Whatever you got, whatever you need, he's got it. So go to c3insurance.com or hit him up at that phone number that I usually say.
Yeah, play a back episode. You'll have the number in there.
You'll have the number a different
He'll
one
be
because
all
I
right.
forgot where I put it this time. If you get a policy with him, he'll give you a $25 gift card to Amazon.com. Tell him Shefsky sent you because
He loves me.
He already knows me. And if you don't want to get insurance, how about you come out to the Comedy Store for CRiiiME LiiiVE Saturday,
Oh, yeah.
June 30th in the Belly Room with our special guest who we're not announcing here because the Patreon people, they get to hear who he is first.
We have to start dividing and conquering it.
Yeah.
And if you're not on
Yeah.
Patreon, we have to make you
We'll
suffer
tell you
a
who
little.
he is eventually, but
Yeah.
right now the Sticker of the Month people, they already know who he is.
Patreon people know everything.
So they get stickers about sexual things that Shefsky drew up, and they get to know who our special
They get
guest
secret
is.
info. Be
So,
more concise when you tell them about
Go ahead
Patreon.
and email us. We still have a few of those free passes left for those of you who email us about it. Otherwise, come out Saturday, June 30th for CRiiiME LiiiVE. But enough with all of this palaver.
Yeah, that's all Slayton's bullshit. Let's get down to the meat. Let's have
Guys,
some
today's
steak.
guest is very special to us. He's a very
my
funny
goodness.
guy. Now, we've had mostly very nice iTunes reviews. 75 reviews. 70 of them have been 5-star, 1 4-star, 2 2-star, and 2 1-star reviews.
Wow, you've really been paying attention to
I
this.
have. I went through these because our second ever review was titled "The Dollop's Redheaded Stepchild." So guess what, guys? Daddy's here. Put your virtual hands together for Gareth Reynolds.
Hey, I'm on my podcast.
Yeah, you're on your podcast. he's come to take it back.
It's so fun to have you here.
I'm claiming. I actually went through C3 Insurance and I got a policy for your podcast. So
You didn't know how safe it was going to be?
yeah. So
It's-
I have your podcast insurance.
It's
There's
so-
a lot of
through
problems
your buddy,
about
whatever
it.
his name is,
You're
at the
covered.
phone number that eludes me.
You're covered. Oh, Joe Erle. No, you're covered.
Joe
you're
Erle.
safe.
Yeah, that's the guy.
It's like driving your friend's car. You're automatically covered. Everything's fine.
Don't think it works like
It doesn't work like that?
No, I think that's something people had started saying, and then everyone thinks is true. And then when you get into an accident, the cop's like, "Who the fuck have you been talking to?" And you're like, my buddy.
Shefsky told me on the podcast.
What's the number? Oh, man, Rich forgot it. Who's Rich? Is that Vomit? Yes, and my buddy.
As they're being walked to the gallows?
Yeah.
He has a podcast. He's right about something, I guess. Carlo Lindo. Oh, sorry, not Carlo.
Whoa, you messed up the
The
name.
name first. I've
Our
never
honorable
had a
guest is here.
I've
and you
never had
messed
a
up the
I've never had a
name.
first.
I'm gonna
word.
go.
Guys.
He's out.
The pressure's so hard.
What if Dave Anthony comes in and he pushes you out of the chair
He's
and
on his
starts reading
way.
the story?
He's not happy.
He says, "Get the fuck out of here. I'll do this." He wouldn't say that.
Carol, not Carlo.
Okay.
Carol Lindo Powell Pennant
Okay.
was born March 3rd, 1958 in South Yorkshire, England. 6 months later, Carol's mother, a recent Jamaican immigrant,
Lot of
decided
mercy.
she could no longer care for her little baby boy.
Okay, that happens a lot. Mm-hmm. Yeah, buyer's remorse, fucker's remorse.
Well, you know, when you name your boy Carol, you're like, I
Yeah.
fucked up right out the gate.
All right, Carol the boy, I'm out of here. You're weird.
Yeah, what's wrong with you?
I don't know. Something about it, the Carol. He doesn't look like a Carol.
So she
He
drops
looks like
him
a
off.
Jennifer.
Yeah.
Man.
So she dropped him off at the National Incorporated Association for the Reclamation of Destitute Waif Children.
Do these people have Jamaican accents? Are we doing great
They're
impressions
English.
of them? Oh,
They're English. Well, the mom is Jamaican, but she's gone now because she dropped them off at the Destitute Waif Children Institute.
Okay.
Yeah. The
And,
Wave Center.
Yeah, the Wave Center.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
there's not
Everyone
a lot
knows
of
it.
options. There's not a lot of opportunities to do Jamaican accents now.
It's also known as Dr. Bernardo's.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Founded in 1870 to care for children orphaned by a cholera outbreak.
But Dr. Bernardo said that I should just blow cigarette smoke on it.
What's his number? I forgot. Damn it.
Slaton phone book?
I had it somewhere.
Don't ask Jeeves.
So your buddy's named Dr. Bernardo, and he takes care of the wave kids. It sounds weird when I'm saying it.
The organization has a colorful history.
Okay.
Thomas Bernardo, the doctor himself, released, it might be Barnardo for all those pronunciation assholes.
Let's call him Bernardo.
Bernardo.
Sure.
The doctor himself released controversial marketing photos to raise money showing the kids before and after their
God.
rescue.
Oh boy.
The controversy grew when it came out that the before photos were partially staged. They were real orphan kids, but in order to garner greater sympathy and donations, Dr. Bernardo would prepare them before the photo shoots by ripping their clothes and rubbing dirt on their faces.
He's a designer. I get it.
I would
No.
What else would you expect from a Dr. Bernardo?
You gotta wag the kid.
Yeah. Rip his trousers.
He hasn't been through enough yet.
Yeah.
I need to see the sadness deep in his eyes.
I'm very sad, sir. Not sad enough. Not for the shoot.
He's got one of those things that they have that you can squirt stuff out of, like a little thing, and you just squirts like fake blood and spit all over him. Oh, dude, these kids are
You
a
think
mess.
I think he might have bled and spit on them more likely.
Or actual blood? You
Yeah.
think he did the thing?
This is what is it? 1870?
Yeah.
Oh, it's 18s? I thought it was 19s.
Well, no, but we're getting to our guy is born in 1958. But we're going into the history of the orphanage that graciously took him in.
Oh, so many
Wave Center.
layers.
The Waif Center. Yes,
Yeah.
sorry, proper terms.
I could go for a wafer
The
right
goal
Yeah.
was to get these children adopted, but with so many orphans, that was impossible. So Dr. Bernardo did the only thing that
We've
made
got
sense.
so many orphans. You're killing me, Larry. How many orphans? 2 orphans, 3 orphans.
We'll meet any advertised price, or your orphan is free.
Oh, dude, we could do that ad too. Any orphanages want to add with us?
So, with too many orphans, he did the only thing that made sense and shipped them off to colonies in Canada, Australia, and New Zealand to work apprenticeships, which was a nice way of saying indentured servant, which was a nice way of saying slave.
Right. Okay.
Between 1868 and 1930, over 100,000 British children were shipped to work on farms in Manitoba.
I get it. I mean, I get it. We've got too many now.
Too many orphans?
Kids.
Too many kids?
Yeah.
Send them to Manitoba.
Start shipping a few.
It's cold up there. Some will freeze off.
Anywhere. I mean, whatever.
It's
Get
the
rid of problem.
concentration that's bad, right? You got to just get them in different areas.
Yeah,
Just
I
get
think
'em out.
definitely spread them out, especially these American ones. Get them out there. They're real leaders, go-getters, the smart kinds.
Kid Swap, that'd be a good new show.
Yeah, Kid Swap.
This
Yeah.
summer on Fox, Kid Swap.
We signed nothing.
You just take a kid from a Chinese iPhone factory and a
Yeah.
kid from Brentwood High School
Oh
and
God,
switch them up.
Yeah.
that would be hilarious.
This is so different.
Yeah. When are my parents picking me up?
Yeah.
My iPod's not working. Can I keep this one?
Between 1868 and 1930, over 100,000 British children were shipped to work on farms in Manitoba. Shockingly, Dr. Bernardo was also charged with financial malpractice and taken to court 88 times on
my
charges
God.
of kidnapping children from their natural parents.
So he would take the kids?
He would rescue them, and some of them probably didn't need to be rescued.
He was
He
exploiting.
would take the kids and then be like, God, I got too many kids. What's going on here?
He was
I wish
exploiting.
there weren't so many upset kids. No, we were fine. I had a lovely upbringing. Well, you're here now. The point is, I don't remember last week. And you're going to Australia.
Or that island from Pinocchio where people turn into donkeys.
Dr. Bernardo?
Dr. Bernardo,
Dr.
right?
Bernardo, you seem off.
Famous
What do I
last
do
words.
with all these kids I stole?
I could go back to my parents. No, you're off to Canada.
But luckily for
But
Carol,
luckily,
by 1958, the adoption game was more of a seller's market. And he was
It's still hard to push a Carol out the door. Nobody's taking a boy named Carol.
Yeah, a little Jamaican boy named Carol.
Yeah.
In
isn't there a
England in
Johnny Cash song
1958.
about that? A boy named Carol?
Yeah, boy named Carol.
Luckily for him, he was quickly fostered with Cecil and Doll Chambers. The older couple had adult children and a big empty house to fill in the small village of Slade Green. So they opened their hearts and their home to a black baby boy named Carol. Surprisingly, Carol stood out a little bit in the tiny town.
Sure.
That kid's a little bit tan.
When Doll would push Carol in his strollers, villagers
Wait,
would stop.
Doll's pushing the stroller?
Yeah, the mom's
That's
name is-
backwards.
No, the mom's name's Doll. If it was an
That's
actual
back.
doll,
Last
it'd be
week
terrifying.
we had a mom named Dozen who had 11 kids.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Hey, come on. One more, you asshole.
I know, right?
Dude,
You'd think-
names create us. They turn us into the monsters or angels that we are.
12 would be weird.
So when Doll would push Carol in the stroller, villagers would stop to stare at their first real-life black person.
Oh, god damn.
They'd never seen. Oh my God! There was a time when you might not have seen other races.
face. Yeah, only in print.
Have you ever seen that video where a white a tribe who's never seen white people like deep in like South America or something? A white dude finally shows up and they are like, "What the fuck?" They are 100% that he is evil right away, and they're. I mean, it's like a cat with like a toy. They're like approaching, like touching slowly, like whoa. Their minds are fucking blown, and the dude looks like Jimmy Page essentially. He's just standing there on a canoe, like, "Hi."
And then a Coke bottle fell from the sky and hit him on the head.
Yeah, they're crazy.
Oh, the gods, aren't they?
He started school at 4, which was already tough for a boy named Carol. But the kids, of course, brought racial insults, the most common of which was gollywog.
Okay, can we bring that back without being accused of being racially insensitive? That's a great word.
Well, why
Gollywog?
don't
I'd pump the brakes.
Why don't you strap it and see
Have you
why?
heard that word before?
Yeah,
oh, yeah,
yeah.
you have. Yeah.
A character from a series of children's books, the Gollywog, had dark black skin, bright red lips, big white eyes,
It
and
is.
wild woolly hair.
I mean, it's just like welcome to Racist Bakery.
Oh, okay.
Dressed
Okay,
in a-
don't bring. Can we rewind the tapes? Don't bring that word back. Shefsky doesn't want that.
Dressed in a collared shirt, red bow tie, and blue jacket with coattails, the character and merchandise almost single-handedly spread the image of blackface across Europe.
Oh,
yeah.
dear.
Which I mean, a lot of very comfortable blackface times in England.
Yeah,
there was a show called The Minstrel Show, and it was just like blackface.
Yeah,
and
it
everyone was like, and I like older relatives of mine would be like, oh, I know it wasn't right, but it was a funny show. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
It was actually their Mad TV. It ran in the 1999 to 2004.
And Keenan Ivory Wayne's brought it back. Yeah.
The Gollywogs were so popular all over Europe that in 1934, the Nazis banned the toys
Oh.
as inappropriate for Aryan children because, quote,
Oh, this isn't. They were right for the wrong reasons. I knew it.
Yeah.
some say he is so attractive an advertisement for a black face that his presence makes it harder to teach the young to wash.
Oh, God.
my
Jesus
God.
Christ. Thank you, Germany.
Yeah.
Carving out an angle nobody saw possible. Once again, Germans.
The first part of that sentence, I was like, they really did. They did something right. Those Nazis.
Yeah.
They banned a
Yeah.
racist
Yeah.
toy. And then why did they ban the toy?
He wants
They're-
the toy out of here. No, because the kids will be dirty. Look how black he is. Oh, God. No.
It's like you hand them the award, then you take it back.
Yeah,
All
yeah,
right,
yeah,
Nazi.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a speed bump on the hill to social justice.
Right?
Oh, why isn't this working?
Yeah.
This insult hit young Carol in particular because the Gollywog was his favorite children's character.
Interesting take.
He had Gollywog books and dolls. When he told his foster mother about the name calling, she taught him the little ditty, "Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me." The next day, he repeated it at school.
And they throw sticks and stones at him, didn't they?
Yes.
Oh.
They stopped insulting him, though, so that's like a good trade-off.
Oh, that's as a mother's advice. You're like, sorry about that, Carol.
Oh, boy, Carol, come on.
Boy.
After weeks of teasing and abuse, Carol had enough. When a boy at school got in his face and screamed, "Wog," Carol replied by dropping him with a right hook to the jaw.
All right,
A
Carol.
jollywog.
Yeah. With Jaw.
Before long, everyone had a taste of Carol's newfound skill.
Oh, he's just beating the shit out of anyone that talks shit.
Good.
Any kid who crossed him would find themselves on the end of a whirlwind of fists.
See it, build character. Huh? They turned him into a diamond. They were assholes to him. Look at him now.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're on page 3. I just want to point that out.
All right.
Yeah,
I
this
speak
is
too soon sometimes.
Real diamond, this is coming along.
I've spoken too soon.
Some of the girls were the worst tormentors because they assumed they wouldn't get hit, and they were very wrong.
Girls named
fair.
Robert and David
Yeah.
and Chuck versus the men, Carol and Stephanie.
Tiffany. Soon, parents began knocking on the chamber's door to complain about her son, the bully.
Okay.
In 1966, at the age of 8, Carol watched on TV as Sir Henry Cooper, a white, multiple-time British heavyweight boxing champion, challenged for the world heavyweight title against a man then known as Cassius Clay.
Whoa!
Okay.
I think we all know. Ugh. Can I say it?
I mean, no, obviously.
I don't know if it was a story that you
No. Yes, of course you can say it.
Muhammad Ali.
Yes, and you pronounced it perfectly.
Right?
like an old Jew in New York City.
I was just mocking Coming to America. That was Eddie Murphy. I was doing an Eddie Murphy.
Muhammad Ali.
If the man wants to,
Cassius Clay.
There you go.
Clay won the fight by TKO in the 6th.
That'll be $8.
Go ahead, sorry.
There is a long-standing American tradition of white people getting really angry when a black boxer beats a white guy.
I can see that for
Yeah.
the Trump-standing areas for sure.
But in Slade Green, the win had the opposite effect. Immediately, people stopped yelling racial insults at Carroll. Instead, they called him Cassius Clay.
Right away, huh? They're like, you know what? You guys are pretty good, actually. We might even be smarter and stronger.
respect.
It's less racist, which is always a good direction.
Less racist is good.
Yeah.
It's like positive racism. Like,
mean,
you guys are smarter and stronger than
Getting
us.
there. Get baby steps, England. Always.
He loved it. From that day on, he went by his new name, Cass Pennant.
Okay.
Oh, cool.
I can imagine them thinking they've done a good thing. No, we don't call him Gollywog anymore. You're Cassius Clay. That's not racist. It isn't racist. Oh, God.
By the time he was 11, Cass had gone from outcast to popular,
Well,
mostly on
outcast.
account of his fists.
head of the cast.
From his first day at secondary school, kids who fancied themselves fighters lined up to take a crack at the only black kid in town.
What the fuck? Okay.
But he kept on winning. I mean, hold on, what's your problem?
It's just, I mean, it's so, I mean, again, it's just like,
If there's only
here's
one,
the,
you have
here's
to
the
fight
wolf
him.
man. Come fight the wolf man. You know, it's like box a bear. Like, just because he's black. So
Yeah,
it is.
I don't get the issue.
Well,
Yeah,
also, it
right,
might just be
sorry.
that
Sorry, you're right.
he just kicks ass at boxing, though, and it's kind of, they are
Yeah,
like,
but
they're like,
that's, yeah, but still, I mean, I think like it's that he's black. I mean, he can box and he's black. People are like, oh, look at that novelty.
it's the turning point in the screenplay where you're like, you know what? I think that's actually the hero of the story. All the
right,
kids in
yeah,
school are like,
yeah.
the black people are, they're quite, I'm fond of them, actually.
Yeah.
He was so impressive.
They
that
dance
the
so well.
Toughest older boys invited him to join their gang, SGB, the Slade Green Boot Boys. He adopted
I'm
their
sorry,
look.
they only have one bee?
Yeah, I don't know.
What-
I never caught on to why.
There's a drought of bees.
Yeah.
We can have one.
We don't.
Carpal tunnel's kind of an issue.
Yeah. We're going to hyphenate boot boys.
I've got a bee for like 50 cents you can buy.
Nah, we're not buying your bees anymore.
All right.
Your bees are always D's.
Are you okay?
Yeah,
Well,
D's with a line through them.
then you've got one bee left if you want it.
Turn
Come
your
get
back to him. Don't even look at him. Don't buy his fucking bees.
Can I buy a vowel?
it. I don't know what
He's
that
a
is.
cop. There's a copper. Copper.
He adopted the Boot Boys look. Ben Sherman shirts, steel-toed Doc Marten Bovver boots,
Oi, mate!
and a shaved head. Because since this was the late 60s in Britain,
Yeah.
he had just joined a gang of skinheads.
Listening
Okay.
to Cockspur and the business.
Okay.
All right.
All right, I'll take a step back here for a moment, let you guys stew in that one.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
It's like that Dave Chappelle sketch where
Yes.
he's the leader of the KKK.
Yeah, it's exactly that.
Okay.
Well, they have a thing called non-racist skinheads. They're called sharps. They're skinheads against racial prejudice.
Oh,
That's
and
why
presidents.
I don't read. And they're
They'd be
also
against Trump.
they're against skinheads against racist presidents. Out with Trump.
Okay, so he's a skin-headed boot boy.
This wasn't totally nuts because at the time, skinhead culture in the UK didn't have specifically racist connotations.
That's fun.
Early 1950s skinheads were called mods as the culture developed out of a love of modern jazz. Which
You would never have guessed, would
A lot
you?
of questions, obviously, but
Yeah.
keep going.
music's real slow.
Yeah, what? I mean, what have you? They probably just saw one bald jazz guy, and they're like, "Oh, men who play jazz are bald."
the horns make me want to punch people.
I'd like to put my boot through that horn.
Bald. Okay.
You ever steel-toed someone to Dizzy Gillespie?
That's actually how they invented the thing where they put it in the trumpet. It's like it was a Doc Marten originally.
By the 60s, the more violent hard mods were closely tied to Jamaican rude boy cultures, style
Rude boy.
and music. Yeah, I saw the shirt. I was like,
shit.
fuck yeah, bro.
Perfect.
Fuck
Rude
yeah,
boy.
bro. There was, but then they stopped doing that in the 70s when Jamaican music began to focus on black nationalism and civil rights and stuff like that.
Right. Yeah.
you know.
Well, you know, when it got a little preachy.
Well, yeah, once you turn that
A little
corner.
specific. I kind of liked it when it was, pardon the language, vanilla.
There was, of course, the standard boilerplate racism of the time.
Thank God.
But not enough to prevent the SGB from inviting Slade Green's best fighter into their ranks.
Cassie.
They needed all hands on deck to defend the town's reputation in regular brawls with rival skinhead gangs from nearby towns. Cass proved himself time and time again. By 15 years old, he was their leader.
Okay.
Dang,
Interesting. Okay.
Leading the skinheads in the 60s in England, and he's 15.
50 and black.
And black.
And black.
Very important. And his real name's Carol.
How was his vision? Was he
Carol!
2020?
Let's not forget
He doesn't
that.
want to let anyone know that in the gang.
Yeah, he has like a typist name.
I think it'd be badass that you wear like pink Fred Perry shirts.
Oh, you're
and
just
like,
talking about yeah,
you
but
know,
you'd be baiting him if you were Carol.
I'm Carol.
I'm Carol. I'm the leader.
Yeah, well, they also, most of their brawls at the time, there was a regular, like, regional fair or carnival that would happen.
Okay.
And most of their brawls at the time took place at the regional carnival.
That's nice.
And they would alternate between fighting skinhead gangs and just fighting the guys who worked the carnival.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I get both.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
And then stop for like a deep fried Oreo.
Hey, I can't seem to get this ring over this milk bottle.
You want bloody goldfish?
Wait a minute. These rings would never fit around the bottle.
That basketball hoop is squished.
Kill the vendor.
While Juvenile...
I want the giant Pokemon if I win the fight.
Yeah, it's just the new carnival game. Hey, punch this. If you knock this carny out in one hit, you get a big stuffed banana.
That would get me to the fair. No questions asked.
You can punch them?
Yeah, if there was just a guy's like, you could punch me and maybe win a bear. I'd be like, what is your price? And yes.
Do you know that I was in Vegas, and in downtown Vegas, there was a guy for $25 that would let you kick him in the nuts as hard as he wanted, and I didn't do it, but people paid him, and I watched people give him $25,
Jesus.
and I watched it. The whole thing happen.
What if he had no nuts and that was just his graft?
No, there was a guy there, a big Marine dude, and
Who showed him his nuts?
No, he grabbed
He's
his
got
nuts to
nuts.
check.
I'm his buddy. He's got two. I've seen him.
He's nuts, and he has nuts. I'll tell you
Yeah.
that. It takes
Yeah,
one
in
to
this
know.
game, you have to have a nut voucher with you at all times just to make sure it's
I got
legitimate.
I got $8 a kick. Just
$8.
yeah, just remind. He's got nuts for sure.
$4 a nut.
Yeah, he's for sure got nuts.
Man, I'm only getting $6 a kick because I can't really
Well,
prove
I've been with my
anything.
guy for a while, though. I mean, you know, I was going to leave for a while and start to get kicked in the nuts, and he didn't want me to. He's like, look, we'll get you health care. I'll give you $8 a kick. And here I am, and he's got nuts.
I like the
Kick him.
local the local government person who has to write out that street performer's license
Right.
for the nut kicking booth.
I'm going to need to start over again. I ran out of room.
When he gets audited, they're like, it says you had 2,400 nut kicks here. I think you might have had 2,500.
Your nuts look pretty damaged for that few.
You got the guy who knows. He goes in there with the pen and goes
Yeah.
like, if you look behind here, right here, your taint's actually got a lot of wear and tear on it. Are you sure you only got 2,400 kicks in here?
Are you sure you're an accountant?
The juvenile offenders were impressed by Cass's fighting abilities. His teachers were not. They warned him that he was destined to become a garbage man.
And then he kicked their ass.
It's very specific.
Yeah, they're like, no, there's only one
Keep
possibility.
this up, you'll be a garbage man.
A bin man, they called them.
Rubbishman.
I don't know. Can I be a janitor?
No, it wouldn't work.
What about a human shield?
No, afraid you're on the wrong path for that as well.
Hooking?
No, your destiny will be fit if you keep this up. You shall definitely handle and get rid of rubbish.
Their frustration grew when he began wearing expensive clothes to class, like leather coats and sheepskins.
How old is he?
He's 15.
Oh my God.
He's pimping, dude.
He was making
still
money
15?
after school by going door to door selling random items to raise money for charities
No charity.
like the Spastic Society.
Yeah, they're spastic and they need a second chance, though.
Of course, only a penny of every pound actually went to the charity. The rest
I
lined his
can't believe
pockets.
any went. What? That's like charities now are like that.
Yeah. No, he's ahead of the game. He's like,
Yeah, but that I mean, that is
he was
something.
like NFL's Pink Month, but just earlier.
Oh, look, ATP. That's right. Give it to the spastics from old Cassie.
I think that's the best part about British culture is where their names are just like, fuck it, times don't change.
Yeah.
It's the best.
Here's the juvenile facility for stupid idiots.
Yeah. Is that all right? Well, yeah, they're stupid, and most of them are actually idiots. You'll find.
He was making 25 pounds a night, over $400 in today's money.
Oh.
When teachers chastised him for his lifestyle, Cass would simply put his feet up on the desk and point out that they only made 20 pounds a week.
Oh,
boy.
bloody hell.
Oh, boy.
You're right, Cass.
It's a real dangerous minds.
Bloody hate my job.
He graduated at 16 and enrolled in the local trade school, getting work as a painter and decorator.
Like a good skinhead. The interior decorator. This is
yeah.
going to be plaid over here. We're going to put some suspenders on your couch.
Everything suspenders on everything.
The TV will constantly be running rugby and football games. You've got a Guinness in the fridge, mate. Cribs, like the skinhead cribs. You open up the fridge and it's just Guinnesses.
We like Guinness.
We like a lot of Guinness.
And footy.
That's right. Cock Sparrow will play in the bathroom when you take your showers in the morning. Don't
This is
forget.
the shower. Look, it's got a shower head.
Oi, oi, oi.
At 6'5",
We go in the toilet.
nearly 200 pounds.
If it don't flush, you kick it in with your docks.
Zoom in on it. Zoom in, then come to me. Yeah, it's Cribs. Yeah.
At 6'5" and nearly 200 pounds.
Your address is 167 Sham 69 Boulevard.
That's his height,
6'5" and 200.
and he's 16.
Yeah.
Jesus.
He's about to reach 6'5". He's 6'4" and change right now.
That's crazy.
You have to remember, this is England in the old days. People were very tall.
It's all cow milk. That's all they're
Mostly,
doing.
yeah.
Everyone, this is when milk literally was dropped at your doorstep every morning, and you're like, need that for the day.
People
What do we
don't
have for
know
dinner? Meat pies. That's it.
We eat and drink milk.
That actually sounds delicious.
There are no vegetables in this entire country.
No.
They have carrots and peas.
They do
Sort of. Let's
Mushy
be real.
peas. That's what
That's what. Yeah, they're mushy peas because they're so old because they've been shipped over from Israel or
What
whatever.
are we going to do with these? Israel, the well-known place for
That's
peas.
where they get. Well, a lot of their fruit comes from Israel.
Really?
A lot of
Goddamn.
British fruit comes from Israel. Bro.
I hate how much you know about things
I
sometimes.
know a lot of things. It's
That's
pretty rad.
crazy. And I've eaten the English fruit, and it's not very good.
No, it's all. It's,
Well, tell the Jews.
the culinary
It's very
motto of the
Jewy.
island is who needs a
Very
recipe when you have a
Jewy.
deep fryer. So. Like whenever a British person's like, "Oh, you fat Americans," I'm like, "I've walked around your country. What are you
But it
talking
used
about?"
to not be like that. But for sure, now they're stacking KFCs on Pizza
yeah.
Huts
yeah.
like the rest of us.
Oh no, pizza. Well, what is it? Pizza Hut's a sit-down restaurant.
Well, when Pizza Hut first came to the town where my family lives in England, it was a to-do. It was big. They heard my cousin had in America that we went there opening night. It was and it is. You sit down, all the personal pan pizza, sausage and pepperoni. And then you get it. You'd all sit there like, "Well, this is lovely."
This is
And then if
shit
Pizza
food.
Hut isn't gonna fuck your head up enough, they
Yeah.
have soft serve stations in all the Pizza Huts.
Sure.
So you finish a pizza and they're like, "Oh, you know what I need is vanilla and sprinkles."
Our legacy is diabetes.
Have you been to corporate pubs before? They're like they have pub chains.
Oh, yeah.
They kind of look like family-owned pubs, but
they
they're
have
corporate now.
Witherspoons is this big one in England.
Yep.
It's like a cancer.
Super trippy. Probably does cause cancer.
So because he was
Let's
so
be a
tall,
warning to our listeners.
his height and weight made it so it was easier to paint the top of the walls out of ladder. But
Or lie about it.
But more importantly, it meant he was well suited to support his favorite football team, one that had the greatest reputation for violence in all of Europe, West Ham United.
Okay.
Cass's first run-in with football hooliganism came when he was still in school. He and two friends traveled to an away game at Wolverhampton. After the
This
match,
is very close to where my family is.
yeah, they probably fought him once.
Okay, cool.
This is turning into an English
Racist.
football hooligan story.
Is this about my family?
Yeah. Yeah, you didn't know that? This is the story of the Reynolds?
You could literally get to my birth and I'd be like, I want to see where this is going.
I actually don't have any idea.
Yeah, no idea. I'm not catching on yet.
And about the 47th pump, your father leaned against your mother. Oh, sorry. I thought we were going all the way up to his
I thought you were-
conception, at least.
Yeah, I had a sorry mom locked and loaded, and then you bailed out early.
Ooh, pun intended. Locked and loaded. Ready
After
to
the
fire.
match, Cass and his pals passed by a group of local boys and watched while they threw a West Ham supporter through a glass window.
Sure.
Then turned, noticed Cass and his friends, and gave chase.
Okay.
Cass got separated. Sprinting, he turned a corner and ran right into a wall of 30 skinheads.
Oh, boy.
He thought he was done
It's a big bald wall.
until one of them spoke with a Cockney accent.
Can you do a Cockney impression for us, Lee?
Not even a little bit, dude.
Not with
Not
that
even-
attitude.
How about
Yeah.
you, good sir?
No,
I don't know.
that's not my. That's not.
Well, what did he say? Let's see.
Well, that's when Cass realized that these skinheads were hooligans from West Ham's famous South Bank mob.
Okay.
When he showed them his West Ham scarf and explained what happened, the leader replied, "West Ham's here now. You're going to show us where."
Wait, what is... I don't know what does that mean?
Yeah.
He's like, "Hey, you're with friends now. We're going to go fuck up those people who are trying to fuck you up.
Okay, thank you.
We don't,
Solid
know, we
translation.
don't know you, and you're black, but you have the right scarf."
You have a scarf. It is very English.
Can we get some scarves like that to carry around?
Ooh, crime scarves, crime football scarves.
Oh, yeah. But we
Just-
won't beat anybody up, though.
By the way, the key
I
is
mean,
to just carry 8 different scarves and be like,
Yeah.
shit, what are they wearing?
Like
Okay, there we go.
Like when you have a keychain with all the different. Which one
Yeah,
is it? Which
yeah,
one is
yeah,
it? This one? Is this the scarf you want to see?
Hey,
How about
Ralph's.
this one? Yeah.
You're all right, then.
Slayton's got a purple scarf. Is this the scarf you wanted? Is this
No, we're going to kill you now.
That's the correct answer. Thank you, Gareth. You're going to get killed for your purple scarf, boy.
Dude, I'm wearing a purple scarf.
You're in the wrong neighborhood,
That's what we're
laddie.
gonna, that's what we're gonna. We're gonna get crime football scarves, and they're gonna be purple.
Oi, mate.
That's what's up.
Go to the game.
He pointed
Or
where
just direct theater.
just direct theater
Yeah, with a perp scarf.
with a purple scarf.
Yeah.
No, but it's a woolly one. It's not like a cravat.
I'm not sold.
Is it an ascot?
Cass pointed where the other guys were, and
That way.
and the South Bank mob marched. Rather than get left alone in a hostile city again, he followed. Within minutes, the 30 West Ham men were at war against 50 of the Wolves. Cass stood shoulder to shoulder with the hooligan leader.
Did they snap like West Side Story?
Yes, the entire way, too.
We're the Wolves.
Interesting thing to know about a working class Britain, really into snapping and choreography.
We're the Wolves.
Just the key to the wolves is stab them when they're snapping.
Real quick, the hands are already hitting.
Hey, that's not fair.
Wait, we're not done stabbing yet.
They don't. Yeah, as they're getting snapped.
fuck.
We had a whole routine planned.
Now we're ready, and I'm dead.
Losing my bloody rhythm over here. White light. Hello, Jesus, or whatever.
There's no respect for the arts anymore. I have no accent. He pointed, they marched, they start fighting. Cam stood shoulder to shoulder with the leader, and he loved it. The brawl ended, and Cass made his way to the train, where he found his buddies and explained what happened.
They felt all primal, like they felt like we fought, like their blood's pumping.
Well, his friends had just scarpered. They left.
Where were you, Cass?
Just beating some people in the face, as you do.
Oh, nice scarf.
Yeah. Well, here's my other fork, if you hold those for a minute. Because there's some fellas on here, and I don't want them to see my plan.
Hold on, let me switch to Villa.
Mm.
Oh, this one's purple. What a stupid version this is.
We could-
All woolly. May as well go direct theatre and be defensive about it.
So,
As the train headed back to London, a group of guys from West Ham started moving from car to car, beating up the regular West Ham supporters.
that are just there, like, it's been a great day.
Quite a division.
Can't wait to go out for some KFC and get a Pizza Hut now. After the game.
West Ham too. Ow!
Once you're out of the enemy, you have to start beating up friends.
Who's different even a little bit?
This is why our listeners should sign up for the Scarf of the Month Club. It's from MeUndies. It's just terrific. They send you a different scarf for every month. In 12 months, you're going to be cool with 12 different gangs.
They're all purple.
They're all purple.
Dude, I would love that. When they reached Cass and his pals, one of them began to go in on Cass with racial insults. But then the leader of the crew entered and saw Cass and said, "You fought well today, mate. Who are you?" Cass gave him his name and said he was with the Woolwich mob, to which the leader replied, "No, you're not. From now on, you're with us."
Oh, whoa, he just got traded gangs?
Yeah, it is weird how there's this echelon of gangs that you climb.
He got drafted.
Yeah, no, he's in the big time.
Yeah, no, he made the majors.
That's a good thing, right?
Scouts like him.
Even though he doesn't get any choice in the matter, because he's kind of just being enlisted without, like, okay, I'm in your gang, but it's a good thing, right?
Yeah, it's a great thing.
They're
Like,
tough.
yeah, I mean, the dental is way better.
They have better bomber jackets.
Yeah, fantastic marketing, lots of sponsorship opportunities.
Right.
We got so many white laces. You're going to love it here.
Casper sponsors us.
Cass celebrated his 18th birthday at a punk rock
Casper
club.
the Mattress Company?
Yeah.
You get a great night's rest and you wake up ready to fight.
This gang's weird.
Hypoallergenic sheets.
Oh, yeah, the temperature doesn't change. And
When
you're
are they going to fight? It seems like they're staging an infomercial.
You know when you have a wine glass at the corner of the bed,
Oh,
right?
I love this bit, though. Then we'll fight them. This is the best. It doesn't spill.
Watch. He punches
The
someone.
sumos are fighting. They've really gone above and beyond.
If you're on your mattress beating the shit out of somebody's head,
Oi, mate.
you can just punch him over and over again and look at the wine glass, still steady.
I want
Right.
to see where this goes.
Where the fuck thumb? I had the thumb. lost it.
your thumb to the script.
Cass celebrated his 18th birthday at a punk rock club, accompanied by 60 of his closest hooligan friends.
Sure. That's not going to turn.
But I don't see what the problem is. It seems it's going to work out pretty well.
I want to know how they sang Happy Birthday punk rock style in England in the 60s at a club. Just they're like, give me an example, Slade.
Why are you making me?
I like making you work.
One of them drunkenly decided that the bartender had stiffed him 10 pounds in change.
Sure.
And demanded they count the receipts.
Oh, God. What? I don't think you know this works.
A bunch of punk rockers that are drunk auditing you?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Got all the receipts.
It's not adding up.
It's
not adding up.
That won't help.
Yeah, do you have a financial calculator?
Short 13 pounds here.
Okay, the receipts are right. I'm still owed.
The count came back correct, but then someone yelled out, "You bastards!"
Yeah, that's all you need.
And the entire club broke out into a riot.
Oh, God.
Okay.
400 people started fighting, most of
shit.
which had nothing to do with the firm or the club.
It's just drunk punk rockers.
Just everyone's like, "Oh, it's a fight now, so sure."
It's a very fragile atmosphere.
Yeah.
They spilled out into the street just as the cops came swarming in, which only made the fight get bigger.
Okay, sure.
It was pure mayhem. A huge bouncer was so frustrated that he ignored everyone else and started headbutting a pole.
Oh, wow. What? Buddy.
What the Westworld
you've
robot
prepped for
gun?
this.
Yeah, that's yeah. This is all you've been training for.
This is the one chance.
You're blowing the one thing you are supposed to do.
The whole point of all your years of training, you had a vision board.
Pole.
You would just think, numerically speaking, he would just be, for practical sake, he'd be like, I'll at least headbutt one person, even if I don't know who it is.
Yeah,
Just
and if
one
you're headbutting
person.
a pole multiple times, you have a weapon on your fucking shoulders.
Oh my god!
Or he thought the pole was the person. He's like, why isn't he going down?
All right, mate. I think I'd like to buy you a beer after this.
He's fixated on the pole. He
This
thinks...
is my best friend Roger, and we're off for a beer. Ow, brain!
All right, Roger, come on over to the bar. Why aren't you moving?
Here we go. Classic you. Time for another headbutting match. No, fucking, no. Shit.
He thinks...
Okay, Roger. It's time for us to go and get... Oh, it's damn put, are you? Headbutt.
Hey, mate, there's a fight going on out here still.
Brother, we should go.
It's the English bouncers version of Lars and the Real Girl. That's his girlfriend now, you see.
He takes it out of the ground. Come on, then.
He never leaves the club.
They're to be married, you see.
We had to bring in a cop for him.
You never been in love?
He sleeps here every night.
Have you ever been in love?
when you could bring a mattress like Casper.
Ah, she's so quiet.
Didn't even put a face on it or nothing.
Nothing. Yeah.
It's just a pole.
I watch them fuck.
You ever seen a man rub his penis against a pole for 14 hours?
He came. He came.
But it was a while ago.
Oh, he spunked
Not
splinters.
in years, though.
Man, I haven't seen that since the war.
I haven't seen that in 2-3 years, yeah.
Where the fuck? Oh, where was
Where's
I?
your old pole?
Oh,
huh?
yeah.
Leave her at home.
Then
We're not together anymore. Found out she was wood.
I'm seeing a meter.
He goes from object to object.
Yeah, I'm done with
I'm
that.
seeing a meter.
I'm actually playing the field, dating a wheel.
They really get around, you know. Sorry.
outside, as the fray continued, a police dog got loose and bit one of the firm.
Oh, I
a
thought you
man
said he was going to
named-
start banging his against the pole. What's the matter with England in the 60s, Led? Is it the fibers in their top hats? I knew it.
The police dog got loose and bit one of the men, a man named Patsy Rice, directly on the balls.
Nice.
Oh, my God. Tell me details. What happened?
Did he have his nut buddy there? He's like, he's got him, too. I'm 100%.
That's a $25 kick right there.
Yeah, excuse me, dog. You better have a dog wallet.
You know it's a write-off, right? You're doing good.
Hey, do you have your permits for that little bit?
Here we go, here we go. That cool. We're doing it for charity. That'll work.
The rest of the crew ran away to their cars, parked a few blocks away, specifically so they could escape easily after a fight, and they went for burgers.
Great, cool. How are you supposed to do it?
Yeah, if your friend's balls are gone,
Yeah.
just go get a quick double.
Oh, with extra mayonnaise,
Almost
dude.
as good. Yeah.
English mayonnaise burgers.
Yeah.
At the burger spot,
You, like,
the
press the
man
button
who
down.
started the fight
And squeeze that. You're like, how much mayonnaise do you need on a burger? My God.
We just found out about it.
No one does mayonnaise on burgers like England.
So they go to get burgers, and at the burger place, the man who started the entire fight paid for his burgers with the missing 10 pounds.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Oh, man, I really... I screwed the pooch on this one, didn't I?
That's funny.
Oh,
That is
man.
funny.
Boy, is that egg on my face, huh?
By the way, I'm still missing 10 pounds, vendor.
Sorry about your bollocks, by the way.
I was fine. I had a burger.
Excuse me, I'll take 2 burgers. And he puts 2 nuts on the counter. These are from the dog.
The dog these are mine from a dog.
Oi, mate, you dating that burger? Because my pole just left me.
Oh.
I'm quite lonely.
I don't want to sound weird, but would it be all right if I talk to Pole now that you've split? Oh, it would not be all right.
I'm willing to offer you
We've got a lab together.
£5 for one night with your burger. The skinhead indecent proposal.
Indecent pole prosel.
Oh, dude.
proposal.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
There we
Oh,
go.
I love it.
There it is.
Proposal.
There it is. You got
I'm
there.
kind of like Robert Redford, right? I want.
Cass earned his first arrest after an away match at Sheffield United.
Ooh, Sheffield. Shout out.
Walking back to the train station for a ride home, 40 members of the West Ham mob ran into a Sheffield mob numbering in the hundreds.
Uh-oh.
The guys quickly recognized Cass's group as the one they'd fought earlier during the game. Okay, so if those, I don't know how much you know about football hooliganism. And
I've said everything I know.
in its heyday. So for a long time, the big problem with the football system was they didn't have seats at matches. So you were just standing, and there was no obstruction between you and
Oh, it was just
whatever you wanted
It was
to do.
already halfway into a riot.
So yeah, I mean, already a big problem. And then what would happen is during the match, they had different sections for different teams, and especially if you were the away team, one of the big victories you could do is if you went into the home team's area and pushed them out of their area and took their spot.
Oh yeah, it was like
man.
war. It was like it was war.
It was like weird war. And so like they would go and try to push their way through, and then of course fights would break out, and then you would fight again afterwards.
And these are violent fights. If you're listening to this right now, you don't know about football hooligans. Like people get their eyes knocked out, their tongues cut off.
Their,
like
their cunts get knocked out as well.
Oh, that hurt.
yeah.
A dog bit my balls and then he knocked my cunt away. I've had quite a week.
I got nothing. I've got nothing. My cunt, my cock, my balls.
Look, it's a black hole. It sucks things in.
That's just a taint with a frown.
That's my favorite new British romantic comedy. The guy with the bitten balls and the one who had her cunt knocked out. Well, we bonded over a good match.
That's right.
Yeah, they're definitely set up. You'd be perfect for each other.
We've got nothing to do but get along now.
It's called Barbie and Ken.
Yeah.
Genius, Slaton.
Notting Hill.
Coming this fall to BBC.
Barbie and Ken.
Where's
Rub
me
their
cunt?
non-bits together.
Where's me cunt? It's all scissoring in this relationship.
We've moved away from the title "Where's Me Cunt" to Ken and Barbie, officially.
They never take my titles. They
Look,
never go with my titles.
It's strong.
Tell me you wouldn't tune into Where's My Cunt?
I would for sure.
BBC's like,
That'd be
all
one of
right.
those ones on the channel guide you'd be going through.
Yeah.
And be like,
I kind of have to.
the hell's that?
There's a documentary, there's Mighty Boosh, or Where's My Cunt?
Yeah, dump cakes.
What do you want
Where's
to
my
watch,
cunt?
baby?
Yeah, I mean the sales pitch just that is like you've seen the title, you're gonna watch at least one episode.
Absolutely.
No one scrolls past that.
Yeah.
All right, so we have Cops, Career After the Straight Guy, Where's My Cunt,
Yeah.
HGTV. You know what? I want to watch This Old House one more time over Where's My Cunt.
Welcome to This Old House. For this episode, we'll be redesigning the House of the Stars from Where's My Cunt?
Is it in here?
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Tim Minchin wax out.
Sorry, Mom.
Sorry, Mum. Sorry, Mum.
Sorry, Mom. So that's how football hooliganism would work. Now that there's been a crackdown, like they have to they prearrange meetings in the woods before or after matches
To get it out.
Yeah, because
They need a fight club.
Yeah, I mean that's what they do. Essentially, it's a fight club now.
Yeah.
But yeah,
We
this
should be
was-
able to go to the game and be like, I don't want to be in the fight club. I just want to watch the game.
By the way, I'd rather watch the Fight Club. I've been to a number of soccer matches in England that are 0-0.
Oh yeah,
I'd much rather just watch beatings.
Oh no, tons of games would be delayed.
UFC.
It's called
Yeah.
UFC, and it is pretty popular.
I've heard of
It
this.
is pretty good to watch.
Yeah.
It was easy for the Sheffield mob to recognize his Cass's group as the ones they fought during the game, because Cass's mob had not one but two whole black guys.
Oh.
Cass
I like the way you worded that one,
and
Slatey.
another guy named Natalie.
Oh,
Are you
boy.
serious?
Yeah.
Okay, English people do have. I have a cousin named Ashley. That is a dude.
Yeah.
I had an uncle that was
That's
a
where
Leslie.
that's tiptoeing the line. This is egregious.
Yeah, Natalie is like
Natalie and Carol.
Yeah.
It's like no. These are very clearly established.
Yeah.
Natalie and
Wait
Carol
till you
are
meet
the heads of
Martha and
HR
Bernadette.
at whatever company you work at.
Yeah.
Like Carol is the head and Natalie's her assistant. Who like you like
I am
Natalie? You
so
really shouldn't.
sick of
You should not
Natalie.
work here anymore.
Natalie's the worst.
Natalie is the funniest name though for a fucking man
Natalie.
that beats people up.
And just call yourself Nat. It's pretty
Yeah.
easy.
And that's pretty cool.
You know,
name, too.
introduce yourself as, my name's Natalie, but I go by Nat. So,
Nat, short for Natalie. And this is Carol. We're livid.
And this is Stephanie. You can call her Steph.
Oh, where's my cunt?
Don't ask.
the fight quickly drew the cops. Cass, Natalie, and another man ran away, only to be chased by 100 Sheffield men throwing bricks.
Okay.
Somehow they made it to a car where a friend handed Cass a tiny fruit knife. He grabbed the blade, turned, and ran straight at the brick throwers, yelling, "I'll stab ya! The black man's gonna stab ya!"
Okay. Interesting. Good, bold proclamation.
Yeah. The crowd turned tail and ran just in time for the cops to pull up. Cass ditched the knife and tried to blend in with the regular West Ham supporters.
You could have just picked up like a peach.
An Israeli peach.
That's right. That's all they get in England. Fucking Tel Aviv grapes.
Yeah, but like 1/5 of it is carved out already. So
Jeez.
Was that a reference to what's going on there politically, Slaton?
no, never.
This is crime. We don't talk politics on this show.
So Cass ditched the knife and tried to blend in with the regular West Ham supporters,
That cantaloupe looks like Gaza Strip.
which was difficult since he was one of only 2 black guys in the entire town wearing a West Ham jersey.
Okay, sure. Yeah, it's tough.
No one here will recognize me amongst these 5'7"
Where's
white
that
people.
other black guy?
He was found guilty of having an offensive weapon and fined £100.
Okay, he makes that in an evening.
So actually,
Yeah, he could pay his own bail.
Yeah.
as a quick note of the toughness of these guys, mentioning all this brick stuff. During one of the matches, one of Cass's friends got hit in the back of the head with a piece of a brick, and it popped his eye out of the socket, like it was just hanging
my
there.
God, like a pug.
Yeah.
That's what I was just
I know,
saying.
that's what
They're
you're saying.
so brutal.
And so he went to the hospital to have his eye fixed. So they shoved the eye back in and like stitched up where it had ripped the skin.
He did not come back.
Oh yeah, he was back in time to watch to see West Ham tie the game.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Different culture.
Oh, just yeah.
A spin-off series after Where's My Cunt? Where's My Eye? At 11.
Cass fought in the.
Welcome back to Eye in the Cunt.
That's what it was the entire time.
The bloody doctor stowed my eye back in me cunt. They put the eye wrong? I don't know.
All right, look, we're canceling Wednesday night. The lineup is crazy. I mean, literally crazy. And it's done. And there's no more of it. And I don't know who the hell was in charge. I signed off on a Ken and Barbie project. That's the last I checked in on this. Wednesday night is done.
The elevator pitch did not really sell
This
the
is
story
insane.
correctly.
What is the last one even about?
We're just not even gonna run. We're just gonna run the off air bar
We're
for this
done.
entire time.
And we will do better, and I will feel better.
Cass fought in the stands and on the streets every single weekend. A 1975 match against Manchester United is particularly famous. Man U fans started things off with one of their favorite chants. You're going home in a fucking ambulance.
Nice.
Yeah.
It doesn't rhyme. It's just brutal and
Well,
mean.
they just do that inflection where they're like, you're going home in a fucking ambulance.
Oh, they with big
That
old-
might even be the tune.
With big,
Yeah.
with big steins
Very
of beer in their jerseys.
Yeah.
Manchester
And they
United.
know it. You're like, what are they saying?
The West Ham supporters responded with chants of, "Who's that lying on the runway?" A reference to the 8 Man U players who had recently died in a plane accident.
Oh, jeez, good lord, that is Jesus.
Brutal.
Oh my God.
Roast culture.
Roast chanting, yeah.
Hashtag for your roast culture. Woo.
One thing led to another.
Too soon.
Yeah.
Too soon.
That was brutal. That was brutal.
You really hurt my feelings.
Yeah.
My feelings are hurt now.
We were not being ourselves, and we're sorry for that.
Can we buy you a drink and make up?
The world will be a better place when this game is done.
Yeah, very singy. Here's a musical.
So one thing leads to another, and soon the fighting bled onto the pitch.
Oh wait, what we just said
Literally.
didn't happen. They
No. They. Oh yeah. No.
They didn't
all,
approach it
They all
with
forgave each other in groups from
non-violent
across a pit.
Now
conflict.
that we think about it, what makes us different makes us special.
We're all part of the same race. The
That
human
we
race.
cooler aids have prevailed.
The West Ham mob took special focus on the Cockney Reds, Londoners who supported Manchester United, a team from 100 miles away, which was apparently a huge offense.
Yeah.
So back
I
then,
get that. And plus, it's Man U. I don't know. Back then, it might not have been as.
no, they were still winning a lot.
Yeah.
It was still douchey.
Yeah.
It was like a different. Now it's douchey in a you couldn't pick someone like medium.
Yeah.
Kind of douchey.
No, Dave likes Man United. And I'm like, that's just it's very easy to just jump on.
Yeah,
Man United.
I have a city kit. So for all you guys
nice.
out there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I support City.
I'm surrounded by
It's
alpha
just
males here.
really going out on a limb
I was
now.
like,
That they're good.
I root for both
I'm
of them.
Wigan.
Oh, nice work.
Yeah, Wigan.
They both get to play a
Celtic,
sport for a
Celtic.
living as adults. I'm just like, you guys both you're really good out there and do it. I'm
Hey,
proud of
coach,
both.
what's the plan? I'm just proud of you guys. You have any idea how hard it is to get here?
That's what I would do. if I was
That's
a coach.
crazy.
Just go live the dream.
And by the way, you're all so tall.
Oh,
Have you guys looked in the mirror? You're all really big and tall. Let's get our hands in there just because we're champs just
Yeah.
for being here. You guys are huge.
You guys want orange slices?
and good.
Have an orange slice.
Coach, what's the game plan? Get out there and feel good about
Yeah, have
yourself for
fun.
once, would you?
Life's short. Be
Come
confident.
on. You guys are here. And so big. Look how good shape you all are.
Coach, you-
Phenomenal athletes. The lot of you.
I really like your coaching style.
Yeah. I'm the only one who's cut. Sorry, makes it so hard.
The video of this whole thing is.
Oh, you watched a video?
Oh, you can still see it on YouTube. That's how big this
Nice.
particular event was. So,
nice.
Hooliganism was a tough man's game, which is why the grown-up beard and beer gut brigade didn't like it when a mob of under 16-year-olds started tagging along to matches. They didn't even have money for the train. Instead, they used promotional tokens from boxes of Kellogg's cereal that under 16s could turn in for discount tickets in the inner city rail.
Life was very different.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, great! I've got a token in the cereal box.
Golden
Just
ticket,
like,
Charlie.
yeah.
Now I can leave my neighborhood.
You had to go to the train.
That would have been a different movie, huh? If Charlie went to the Manchester United game.
God, yeah. Grandpa! Charlie, I'm not gonna live. Charlie, I'm for sure dying, Charlie. Oh my God, we should have gone to the factory. We should have, Charlie. Tell Grandma I love her and don't let her know my guts were spilling.
They're kicking Veruca around like a goddamn ball.
You know, young man, if you hadn't touched all the players, this whole thing would be yours. But
What's your problem?
The contract is null and void. It says right here,
What
don't
are
touch
you?
the people.
Now we're gonna cook your grandpa, and you're gonna eat him. No!
So they use these tokens to ride the inner city rail. These youngsters would ruin everything by pretending to be hard and then running when the time came. Mm-hmm. Until
I've done
one
that.
day at Aston Villa.
Oh, that is actually my team.
Yeah?
Yeah.
When 100 of the kids snuck to the other team's side, disguised with hats, and beat the shit out of everyone they could find.
Well, I mean, they did have disguises, which is cool.
They had hats.
Yeah, well, no, disguises.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
You know, hats.
this is mid-70s British disguises.
Are these skinhead kids?
Yeah, so these are West Ham, like young West Ham,
okay.
Little like firm kids.
And then they sneak into the Villa side.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
And push everyone around. And
Right.
like so when they saw this big gap in the Villa side, all the West Ham guys are like, holy shit, what's going on? And then as the kids were being taken out, escorted out by the police, there'd been a West Ham old guy who'd been given a bunch of shit. And they started chanting at him like, hey, Brumley, where the fuck are you now? Hey, Brumley, where the fuck are you now? Like that kind of shit. Oh, yeah, that's great. So these kids earned their respect, but they needed a name. At the next big match,
The Natalies, eh?
they showed up wearing badges.
The Melissas. It's terrifying, see?
They showed up wearing badges with the British Rail logo, cut from the cereal boxes.
Okay.
This was the beginning of the intercity firm.
Wait, like they had the like cardboard stapled
Yeah.
to their shirt?
Yeah.
Wow,
I mean-
that is punk AF.
Yeah. No,
Woo.
these kids are a little punk.
That is very punk.
Good thing it doesn't rain there.
Because
My badge, it's soggy.
Every day we lose badges.
I can't seem to get rid of this tan.
Yeah.
Because of their new reputation, it didn't take long for the ICF to grow, especially when Cass and his cohorts jumped on board.
What's the name of the gang again? The Insane Clown Posse?
Yeah, the Insane Clown Fosse. It's named after Bob Fosse and painted clown rappers.
Now look, a lot of people think this won't work, but I'm not among them.
Now,
We're gonna do this
choreograph your
right from
dances
the
to the
top.
Fago spray.
All right? Yes, I've got the purple scarf. Yes, I'm in charge.
And a 1, and a 2, and a who's going chicken hunting? Who's
right.
going chicken hunting?
Take your breasts out, guys. Shake them around.
People had assigned jobs in the ICF. One man printed T-shirts with the British Rail logo. Another made fake student IDs so members could use the discount cereal tickets. And one spent every week coming up with new chants to harass the opposing fans into a fight.
So they had a full criminal network.
Wow.
Oh,
going
yeah.
on.
Well, you have to organize hundreds of people going to fight people regularly. So, I mean, that's...
Tough.
But
Sandwiches.
the invention that made them famous all over Britain and Europe was their calling card. Left on the prone bodies of unconscious victims, it read,
Jessica was here. She's a big mate.
congratulations, you've just met the ICF.
And like covered in blood and soot from like things that have been burnt and
Well,
broken
at least
glass.
they congratulated me for it.
Yeah.
That feels
Nice
nice.
to be congratulated.
It was a real brutal initial, meeting.
It's just good if you wanted it, you know?
Nice. It's nice.
Like, just be recognized.
It's
for your-
nice now. Now I thought about it, it's nice.
The first impression was a boot print on me chin.
Anyone see my eye or my cunt? Oh, by the way.
No.
But I have this card, though, so
How
that's
many
fine.
plugs are we doing for that show this summer on BBC? Where's
As
I
the
my cunt?
cancelled it.
As the ICF gained notoriety,
NBC picked it up. Did you hear that?
so did
It's on Hulu. It's on Hulu now. You can't cancel these days. They'll put you on
but
Hulu.
then the Where's My Cunt people tweeted something about how like Sarah Jessica Parker looked like a horse, and the whole thing was over. It just fell apart. Got canceled. So many people lost jobs.
Executive
And it's
producer
like-
Roseanne Arnold. Where's my cunt?
So as the ICF gained notoriety, so did Cass as one of London's best-known black hooligans. But there was a problem. West Ham's biggest rival, Millwall, had the most famous black hooligan in London.
Wow, there's battles for being the famous black dude.
Yeah.
So you think
Well,
it's
when there's
easy?
Unity.
7, you know, like you kind of
Unity.
have to...
Yeah.
Their man was also 6'5", named Tiny.
Oh, it's hard to root against the big guy named Tiny.
Yeah.
At least he has a man's name. That's my thing.
Finally.
Finally, right?
Tiny.
One of
Well,
these-
it's short for Tina. So,
Is it really?
It's actually Tanya.
Tanya.
Tanya?
Yeah.
Tanya Cunty.
Cass and the ICF went to a match in enemy territory, but the Millwall firm was nowhere to be found until Tiny came barreling out of a tunnel from nowhere and hit Cass with a run-by punching before disappearing into the crowd.
So there used to be drive-by punches.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Run by.
I saw
hits.
no. One of the best things I ever saw in my entire life. My senior year of high school, I was in Santa Cruz for New Year's Eve, and just with some friends who were locals, and they start getting into like some like kind of pissing match, argument, fight in the middle of the street, but no one's throwing punches. And it's
Okay.
circling back and forth for a while, and then this SUV drives by, and as like one of the kids is like kind of like not squaring up, the driver of the SUV leans out and yells, "Bitch!" and just slaps the guy across the face
And drives away.
Yeah. I saw a drive-by bitch slapping, and it's one of the greatest memories of my entire
That's why
life.
you started comedy. You're like, I can't keep this to myself.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
No, this has to be be part of the world.
Is there a twist in the story?
amazing.
Were you one of the people?
No, I was on crutches, so I couldn't fight anybody. And I actually was I was so drunk.
Cool
that-
answer.
Yeah. No.
I'd forgotten my nose medication, so I couldn't.
No, actually I did fall over on crutches though because I was too drunk. Like I went to place my right one and it just went. And I slowly just fell over my friends.
Fellas?
And they're bandaging up other people that were fighting, and you, and like, what happened to you? It's like, oh, I got it real bad.
Buddy, this leg might be broken.
Yeah, I
No,
missed
it is.
Yeah, no, it is actually already. So
It was
no big
already
deal.
broken.
Before kickoff, the ICF pushed their way into the Millwall stands and the battle for territory began. The fight lasted all the way through halftime,
Okay.
but Cass and Tiny never squared off.
Okay.
Big build up.
So this is the near miss. This was the meet cute.
Yeah. No, it would have happened.
This
Yeah.
is the part of
Yeah.
the movie where I'm like, couldn't they have ended it there?
This is where like he is walking along the bottom story and you can
Right.
see that she's walking like the upper
Right,
level,
yeah.
opposite directions.
Guys, you're so close.
Oh, come on.
Kiss.
While being black and the racist football hooligan culture had its drawbacks, it also came with one small advantage.
Being black in the culture.
At an away game before kickoff, Cass and another black West Ham supporter got cornered in the stands by the fans of Tottenham, known as the Yids.
Okay.
Yeah, they call them Yids.
Were they Hebes?
There was some Jewish connection to Tottenham, but really it just kept on going. And now it's kind of fun if you're a Jew who watches football.
Yeah.
Because every once in a while you'll see a Tottenham away game, and like Russians will yell Nazi stuff at them. So it's pretty awesome.
You said it's kind of fun.
Yeah, isn't that fun?
that is fun.
Why do Russians like Nazis? They were enemies. If you ever looked at a book of Russian prison
But
tattoos,
they were
and it's all
enemies
Nazi
because
stuff.
they like
I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's
They have notes. They're like, could have been smoother. It ended.
look, we don't like the Jews either.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, that's one thing they could have bonded over.
Yeah.
The
Like, they
hatred of Jews.
But like
There's a
everything
real
else, Russia
miss-
was like, we'll do it our way.
So
Comrade, you have blue eyes and you hate the Jews. We have more in common than we don't.
the two of them fought off dozens of Yids by themselves for minutes before getting pushed off the stands to the tunnel below, right into the arms of the police. But Cass knew his line.
Wait, so people are like falling off the stand, like dangling over, like they're trying to storm like a castle or a fort or whatever, and
Yeah.
they're falling. Oh my god!
You know, normal stuff. But Cass,
Sports.
yeah, athlete.
I don't have the testosterone, fellas.
See, this guy doesn't
terrifying.
get sports at all.
Anytime I go to a sports game, I'm like, what if I fall off of this thing? What's going to
Like,
happen
who's
if I fall off?
He's always
this
like,
thing?
"Who's the point guard at this football match?"
Ah,
You
which
know?
one?
Yeah, that's what he says a lot.
I watch hockey. I understand.
So they fall into the police, but Cass knew his line. Quote, "Officers, it was self-defense. They attacked us because we're black." So instead of arresting them,
pulling the card, dog.
the cops walked the men back over to the West Ham side. As they exited the tunnel, a roar came from the crowd. It took Cass a moment to realize that the players were still in the locker rooms. The cheers were for him.
I was just gonna say it must be really shit to be like playing because you're like, Jesus, guys, there are people who probably want to watch.
Hey, I just scored here.
Yeah.
Is anybody?
Huh?
Anybody out there?
I'm gonna kill this man.
Oh, I just scored again.
Oh, you know my favorite player is Cass.
You know what? I'm just gonna.
He's not even on the team.
I'm gonna score on myself real quick.
Oh, look at those boys kicking a ball. Hey, we're having a fight.
Yeah, get out of the way. We're
We
fighting
reserve
over
the
here.
area.
Hey, maybe it probably just feels like being a comic and doing a really brutal bar show, but getting paid a ton of money for it.
Well, there's that old Stanhope line: "Nobody leaves the fight to watch the band."
Yeah.
You know?
It's beautiful. So there's a roar comes from the crowd. It took Cass a moment to realize that the players were still in the locker room. The match hadn't started yet, and the entire stadium was cheering for him.
Okay.
The next day, the Daily Mirror ran a story about the fight, with the headline "Soccer's Sickness." Cat went from London's second best known black hooligan to a countrywide football legend.
Oh,
wow.
Okay.
Not even a player, and he became a legend, like a representative of the sport, basically.
Front page of the sports page.
Wow.
Yeah. In 1977, Cass's status bit him in the ass when he was charged with affray, or disturbing the peace during a fight. The judge decided it was time to make an example of someone and sentenced Cass to 3 years in prison.
Dang, just for fighting once?
Yeah, I mean, at this time, the football hooligan issue was starting to get worse and worse and worse. And so he's like, we got to take somebody down, and this is the most well-known football hooligan in the country.
So there's a drawback to his celebrity status.
Yeah, and he's black, so I mean, you got to put him in prison at some point, right?
Obviously.
It's in the
clearly,
Constitution,
Yeah,
mate.
it's law.
Yeah.
The next day,
We'd be racist if we didn't lock him up.
Agreed.
The next day, every paper in the country carried the story about the law's first blow against football hooliganism. When he arrived at prison, he was given a cavity search and assigned a bed that was a foot too short for his body.
Jesus, that's fun.
I'm just impressed they have a dentist in their jail.
Oh boy.
Ooh, man. Do you want to tell him or should I tell him? I don't know.
Amazing.
Ah. Man, you know what? How about this? How about I'll give you a cavity search and then you see if you like it still.
Sure.
And do that with the other mouth.
Yeah, other cat. Yeah,
My back mouth?
Yeah, you down south mouth.
the back mouth.
Yeah, your back mouth.
You don't want to go with the back mouth.
Do the butt mouth.
The butt mouth? The butt mouth boys.
The butt mouth boys. Life inside was a rude awakening because
Inside the ass?
yes, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, really rude inside the ass.
Okay, yeah.
It's like a Jonah and the whale kind of story, but during a cavity search.
Oh, don't light a candle.
Life inside was a rude awakening because, unlike the firm where all that mattered was his fists, inside prison it was all about race. The whites, of course, didn't like him, and the blacks rejected him for his Cockney accent, which was proof he lived in a white neighborhood.
Okay.
Oh, nice. So he knows what it's like to be me.
Cass's cellmate.
Yeah.
You know, just not fitting in,
Anywhere?
in the political parties or in the music parties.
Cass's cellmate was another large black man nicknamed Zulu,
Ooh, that's
Who
a
was-
manly name.
who was on the inside for chopping off a man's hand with a knife.
Okay, sure.
Did the man deserve it? Can I get the rest of the story?
Was he making roast beef? Like, what's going on? Was
Maybe he was a thief in Saudi Arabia.
One night in the cell, Zulu got angry listening to the radio.
Oh,
when
God.
someone
He's not supposed to listen to it after 9. He'll be up all night.
No! Zulu, no, Zulu!
Did you give him chocolate too? I mean, you know that keeps him up.
I got him wet and a bunch of little balls shot off of him.
Oh,
There's
dude.
a ton of Zulus.
The Zulu Mogwais?
Yeah.
Oh.
He got angry because someone on the radio was disparaging Ugandan dictator Idi Amin.
Can you imagine, like, if you're in the room, you're like, oh, boy, he's getting fired up. How dare they say that? Not about Amin! Not about Idi Amin! You're like, okay.
Can you imagine being upset that someone's offending a dictator?
Yeah,
like a Ugandan dictator? Like, you mean that guy's been oppressing all your people?
They're killing him in the rags.
Don't talk about Gaddafi like that.
He's a legend.
Then Cass made the mistake of agreeing with the radio.
More gotcha journalism with Hitler. Uh-oh.
Zulu.
Cass is just like me. I would be like, yeah, I think they're right, actually. Wait, why did I say that? Why did I say that?
I can kill the radio if it's you.
Zulu killed the radio in England.
Zulu attacked him with a razor.
Okay, sure.
Oh,
But
God.
somehow Cass fought him off long enough to say, hey, man, you're going to have to kill me.
Okay.
And Zulu shrugged his shoulders, went to bed, and muttered something about Idi Amin.
That kind of stuff works?
The next day, he was moved to a new cell with a white dude.
You could say that to a fucking prisoner, and he'd be like, all right, I won't kill you then.
Good point.
Fair enough. Wow.
Cass has got balls.
Cass was released in 1980 and wasted no time getting back in on the action.
Nice.
He was arrested soon again after a rival supporter was stabbed during a match.
Sure.
The cops found all the evidence they needed. A 5-pound note in Cass's pocket,
I thought you were just gonna say his skin tone.
stained with blood.
Okay, interesting.
But Cass hadn't done it. He'd won the $5 on the trade ride home during a card game.
See, they did use his skin as evidence. He wasn't guilty.
He expected to face serious prison time for a crime he didn't commit. But then the forensics report showed the $5 was actually stained with hamburger sauce.
Oh my god! What? So it's just some sloppy weirdo's napkin?
They convicted him anyway as an accessory and gave him a year in prison.
Your Honor, he's murdered a hamburger.
Yeah. He did.
We all know meat is murder.
He killed a double-double, I'll tell you that much.
No, it was on there before I got. Yeah, no.
And he took some of my fries.
There's a lot of burgers in this story.
Give me
Slaton.
the money, please. I'd like to lick it. Very hamburgery indeed.
When Cass
Lot of
got out,
mayo.
You know, you can eat that bill later.
are you dating that hamburger?
Oh, because I've just got something with a pole. And
He's a swinger. He's like, I've got a burrito here if you want to have a go with her. You know, maybe you can swap.
No, me and Burger just said we were going to recommit.
A burrito, or as I call it, the Mexican fleshlight.
Oh, Jesus.
Just a room temperature chili relleno burrito. Not too
Chili
much.
relleno?
Oh, I love chili relleno.
God, you live on the edge.
Because then I can make love to it, then eat it. I mean, chili relleno's the best, right? I wouldn't come inside it. I mean,
You live on the edge. Wait, was the last part? We're not coming in them.
Hey, what?
I won't come in the burrito.
That's
We're
what
not coming in them.
No, there's no cum in the... You don't want to split it? I didn't come in it or anything.
I didn't come in it. We both came in this thing, right?
Both of us?
Yeah.
I didn't.
Oh,
I did
me
not.
either. No, then same here.
I'll take this half.
Sucker.
Wait, what?
My dick was in the... nothing.
Okay, I'm
My
gonna...
dick
Yeah, say,
was in the first half.
fine. That's...
You're eating the cum chunk.
I thought we didn't... I didn't cum in it.
Me either. Let's cheers to burritos.
L'chaim.
They don't have cum in them.
Non-cum
Well,
burritos.
let's be specific. There's no cum in the burrito, but you ordered a wet burrito. So there's a cum on top of it.
Fair. I'll go for it.
You like a little creme de chef? Creme de chefski?
Oh, the spread.
Okay,
Chipotle sauce with a little bit of love, eh?
he gets convicted.
Okay.
Gets out. When Cass got out, he took
Sour
the best
cream
job.
that's not so sour, right? Okay, sorry. Go on with your story, Richard.
Why does this burrito taste like bleach?
I'm embarrassed.
When Cass got out, he
does-
took a best job available for a well-known fighter as a bouncer at one of the most dangerous spots in London, Kisses nightclub.
Oh, yeah. No, you don't want to go to Kisses on the wrong night.
Kisses.
Kisses.
Yeah, there's one thing I've always heard is that kisses are frightening.
Yeah, you're a local. Oh, this is fun. What is this? Kisses? Let's go in here for a drink.
All the tourists.
Oh, this is great.
It said in the book that Kisses was a great place to go and kind of learn about the city.
Well, I'm yelping that we will never be back to Kisses. Very violent culture.
Set in a rough Jamaican neighborhood, Kisses was a hangout for Rasta gangsters.
Not a
Nice.
mercy.
Locals looking to intimidate any white customer into leaving smuggled knives inside their hats.
Oh, so I wouldn't do well at Kisses.
Right. They knives in their hat.
Yeah, inside their tea cozy, as how
Sure.
how they described it in the book.
Sure. Okay.
It's like a knife
gotcha.
so heavy to put inside a hat
Yeah,
that
it
you lean in
seems
the...
weird, tough.
Yeah, but I mean, you have all the dreadlocks to like keep the
but so
knife
you're
secure.
Like, yeah,
have a
you're
friend-
like,
Your head's already so heavy anyway.
yeah, but you're putting like the knife through your dreads.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
actually-
they're like rope. That's
You actually
a
just
great
problem
idea.
solved it. That's how
There
they
you
do
go.
it.
Yeah,
All right.
there you go.
I actually have a friend who smuggled a 6-inch Subway sandwich into a theater once underneath a bowler cap.
They were just like nothing to see here.
One more reason why any sort of fashion from the 1800s, I'm just like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're in this rough Jamaican neighborhood, and the locals trying to smuggle in their knives. On their first day, their manager's entire training speech was, quote,
Don't fuck the Poles. We had a bouncer here who used to fuck the Poles. Don't date the Poles.
Fuck the police, not the Poles.
it's an HR issue. We don't want to have another lawsuit on our hands.
Got a lot of
look at that
splinter
pole.
dicks around here.
I'm the pole.
The pole. But sir, the pole keeps... She's flirting with me, sir. I can't turn her down.
my pen I have.
I'm going to just go give her a smooch. A little...
over and grab that.
Oh, is it? I'm just going to go... Where are you from there, little Polly?
Pen vagina.
The entire speech training was, quote, welcome to the madhouse. I wish you all the luck in the world.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, good first day, huh?
And we use micros. All right, let's go.
And just make sure you don't go to overtime because we're not going to pay that.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
the
we'll,
speech.
we'll roll you back.
God, this goes under the list of categorizes under shitty jobs.
The next 6 months was filled with nightly wars. One gang would turn up, fight the bouncers, and leave just as the next one pulled up.
Every night, pretty much?
Oh, yeah. No one-
Exhausting. It's like being an underwater welder. It's like,
Yeah,
when
but
do you
if
just
you like
chill out
fighting,
at work?
it's a fun job.
Okay.
Oh, it's not work if you love what you do.
I love it. I love my job.
No one gave them more trouble than the Rastas.
Okay.
Not only did the black bouncers have white Cockney accents, but the club had gone upscale, and Cass had the unfortunate job of turning the Rastas away.
Okay. So he's turning over the Rasta.
Wait, so he's racially profiling as a bouncer against other black people, or because of the particular style of Rastas where it's like...
Yeah, like, well, I mean, the club now, he described once that the club now was like hip and young.
Yeah.
And so there were like older Rastas who were leaders in the area who want to come by, and he's like, nope, you can't come in.
Yeah.
Do you know who this guy is? Yeah, but I don't want you creeping on on the 18-year-old, 20-year-old girls in here.
He's
So get the
called
fuck out.
God. If you call him Jaw, you're not welcome here.
One night, while tossing a man in an expensive white suit, the man's pants split open.
That must have been very droll.
Furious, he left only to return with 100 angry Rastafarians ready to break down the door.
Okay.
Cass and the other 5 bouncers had the advantage defending a small door at the top of stairs. But Cass had a bigger problem than a mob of angry Jamaicans.
Diarrhea. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Hey, can you guys just hang out there for a minute? I gotta go. I'm gonna be like 10 minutes, maybe.
I mean, it would be a bad time for it. Can we at least agree on that?
got the
Great
bubble- I got the
Imodium
bubble
AD
guts.
commercial,
Never
too.
a good time.
That's a great Imodium AD
Yeah.
commercial right there.
Yeah.
God problems.
Have the advantage, kicking a bunch of Rastas out of your club, but also diarrhea. And then you've got the little diarrhea version of the person. I gotta take you to the bathroom. Oh no, my belly's dragging me again.
Here's the bigger problem. In the upstairs lounge sat the former most famous black hooligan in London, Tiny.
Oh no, Tiny's back.
Kisses was his favorite club, and in the interest of business...
Tiny loved kisses?
Yeah.
Aw.
He says that.
In any other situation, adorable.
Yeah.
Not
loves
today.
kisses.
Tiny loves kisses, and he also likes stabbing people a lot
Tiny
in the
loves
stomach
kisses.
or
Oh,
the
they're
back.
adorable at this age. He's 48.
This is such a linguistically confusing story. I don't know how to feel about any of this.
Tiny and Carol were hanging out at Kisses.
Okay, Tiny and Carol were kisses, and the Rastas were after them because they had knives in their caps.
Oh my gosh.
Cass got nervous. But Tiny and Cass had an unspoken truce that they obeyed in the interest of business when they were on the grounds. But with the fight already popping off, Cass got nervous when he saw that Tiny and his boys began to gather behind them with a collection of weapons.
It's going to get brutal.
He knew it was all over until Tiny's guys began passing the weapons to the bouncers
Nice.
and joined them, fighting until the Rastas fled.
Okay. This is insane.
After that, the Rastas left them alone, and Kisses became one of the most popular clubs in London.
Oh, it's really got a happy ending. I didn't know it was going to end like that.
Thank God for kisses.
Cass used his
Say
reputation
it
to
every
build a
day.
huge
Yeah.
bouncing business stocked with the toughest fighters he could find. Now, a quick note on the weapons that they passed out. When I'm like, oh, they had weapons. It wasn't like they had there were bats and knives. I mean, obviously, yeah, the
They had like
potato
makeshift
stuff.
weird stuff.
No, what Tiny passed to Cass was a hatchet.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh.
And then one of the bouncers who was working there with Cass, his weapon was a bottle filled with ammonia that he
my
would spray
God.
at people.
Jesus Christ, right? Like,
Yeah,
you're like,
it's chemical warfare, honestly. Yeah.
like you're just, what's it, like you just, we're going to get into a fight tonight. Oh, and then tomorrow I might be a murderer or dead.
And then there's the guy with the bowler hat who walked over and he's like got a Subway sandwich on it. And they're like, what did you? He's like, these are delicious.
Well, you really can fight fire with fire. This is very
Guy
spicy.
lost a lot of weight eating these.
You stop beating me with a foot long.
He carries around his pants too. He's
Yeah,
like,
look at that. He's fitting right
you know how
now.
many bowler caps I can
Believe
keep in
this?
the other leg of this pant?
Yeah, that's where you put the sandwich.
It's right. We just don't get
His
mayonnaise.
pants full of sandwiches. He didn't lose weight.
They hate me in England because I don't get mayonnaise on my
He's
sandwiches.
sneaking his fake old pants into clubs filled with sandwiches and pretending he's a heroic weight loss story. Keep your eyes peeled, not at kisses.
In 1985, Cass swore off hooliganism for good
Oh, he's squaring up.
after what's known as the Hazel Stadium disaster. Hazel Stadium disaster in Belgium.
Hazel, named after a big burly skinhead man in the 60s.
An hour before the European Cup final between Liverpool and Juventus, Liverpool hooligans tried to rush the Juventus stands. When fans tried to flee, many got trampled. 600
yeah.
people were injured and 39 were crushed to death.
Dang!
As a result,
39 people, almost 40 people just crushed, but being run on top
you're
of.
right,
crazy,
it is
though.
almost 40. It's because
Yeah.
that's dude, your numbers are getting so good. Your math is improving, and your letters too.
You make me second guess about being comfortable thinking out loud around you.
I'm congratulating you. Congratulations, you've just met your numbers.
Fuck you and move on with your story, Broseph.
As a result, 14 fans were convicted of manslaughter, and English clubs were given a 5-year ban from European competition.
Oh, really?
Back in England, the police launched Operation Own Goal, an attempt to place undercover cops inside the gangs and get enough for a serious conviction. In January of '87, Cass was hit with 2 big blows: an arrest for conspiracy, and even worse, a letter from West Ham saying he was banned for life.
Oh, wow. That's
The
terrible.
trial of Operation Own Goal.
Can I still go to Kisses?
Everyone's welcome at Kisses, unless you are black and old. Then you're not allowed here at all.
Well, I'm getting older, but, you know.
Make the most of it.
The trial.
We have policy.
I'm here to go to Kisses. Here's my ID.
Spray him with ammonia.
It makes me live longer, actually.
Go.
Put in eye droplets into my eyes. It's good for me.
The trial for Operation Own Goal appeared to be a sham.
It's because it's our own goal, you see. We're not good at naming things, but at least we're honest.
Prosecutors brought everything, including a manuscript found in Cass's house for a novel he'd been writing called War in the Terraces, where the main character seemed to be suspiciously a lot like Cass Pennant.
This guy is a fucking soccer hooligan, and he's typing away.
He's writing a novel that's a fictionalized account of his own life.
Probably not good.
Is everybody a writer, Gareth? I mean, like, this guy's
It feels like it sometimes when I take meetings. I mean, good lord. Yeah.
He's a soccer hooligan, punching people's eyes out, hitting hatchets in bar fights. He's going home like, I did 500 words last night.
But my passion's quatrains.
Also, there was footage from a documentary about
Anybody
hooligans.
got a final draft hack I can borrow? Mine's not working. I've got something I need to get out real quick.
The prosecutors also played footage from a documentary about hooligans
I've got word, though.
titled Hooligans,
Nice.
showing Cass saying things like, "When we go up north, each one of us is a Rambo."
Oh, wow.
They called in a long line of
A Jane Rambo.
Oh, my God, that's my favorite. A real Jane Rambo, that one. Watch out for him, boys.
Oh, and
On Operation Someone Else's Idea, he kicked a lot of people's asses.
you know, my favorite movie is Megan Dread. So,
Megan. Dude, Jane Rambo? Oh, dude.
they called a long line of police to testify.
Police?
But the name Operation Own Goal proved to be a bit ironic because the undercover cops messed up at every turn. Their evidence logs contained doctored or misplaced entries, and their testimony took a big hit when their biggest piece of evidence, a 4-inch blade, turned out to be a 1-inch pocket knife.
Oh, my God. What? How do you... quick follow-up. What are inches?
That's Johnson over there, the one with the small penis, sir.
You know, the conversion rate, I didn't quite get it right.
No, but we never left England, you idiot. It's significantly tinier.
The best part about it is so they make this big deal about this 4-inch blade, and so when they bring the evidence up for the next part of the trial, the prosecutor is like struggling to open the bag, and they think he can't get it open, and then that's when he was pretending he couldn't get it open because he was like,
this is not going to look good.
fuck, this is not going to work out.
Oh, you just got to pull it. Thank you, guys. You just got to pull it. Just pull it like this.
Yeah, sure.
All right, here is the 4-ish inch. He
tries to slur it.
4-ish inch.
He just waves it quick so you can't see. Here's the 4-inch blade.
There it is. Pretty good. It's back in the bag. Can't open the bag. All right, now for my next trick. Why would I call it a trick? It's a piece of evidence.
The conspiracy trial lasted for 72 days and cost the government £2.5 million.
Did Alex Jones talk about it on his show?
For the
conspiracy trial.
prosecutors to score an own goal when Cass and his friends were found not guilty.
But how did it cost so much?
That's how court always costs money. You ever hear that when
That
they say like,
much?
it costs this much to try? You're like, what are they spending? Who's getting all
Well,
the cash?
they had to get the licensing rights to show parts of the documentary.
Sure, right.
know, they had-
Well, and you want the lighting to be right.
Advanced copy from
And the
publisher
popcorn
of
budget. Yeah.
That's right. I gotta have catering.
Yeah. So I talked to the director of Hooligans. He's going to come down here, and him and some of the grips are going to light it.
It's a little question answer period.
And obviously, yeah, we'll do a
That's
Q&A
extra.
after. We'll do a Q&A after. We're no like sworn testimony, just kind of questions about the film.
$2 million was just special effects to try to make the 1-inch blade look like it was 4 inches
Here we
long.
go. Now, if we put a little
CGI?
green over it, there we go.
ILM.
We're getting somewhere. Look at the shadow.
But the damage was done. While inside awaiting trial, Cass lost his entire bouncing business. So he was forced to take jobs back on the door. In 1992, he took a job at a nightclub in an area known as Low Life City.
Nice.
Shockingly, that didn't end well. After only a few months, a local meth head shot him 3 times in the chest.
They had meth in England in the 80s?
This is 92.
They had meth in England in the 90s?
When he woke up in the hospital, he was so out of it, he wrote on a piece of paper, "Am I alive?"
Oh, wow. Wow, that's amazing.
No, this is heaven. You've done real good for yourself.
4 days later, with the bullet still lodged in his shoulder, Cass walked out of the hospital.
Wow.
Dude, balls on Cass.
After the shooting, he finally settled down.
How does his parents feel about this now? Because they raised him up.
So yeah, his adoptive parents are still alive at this point. They passed away a little bit after that, but like they're kind of like, man, we probably should have changed your name from Carol.
I think abandoning him affected him.
That's I just realized that they adopt this kid whose name's Carol, which by the way is apparently like a manly name in the West Indies.
Oh, sure.
They adopt a kid named Carol, and they don't go, hey, you know what? He's a baby.
Fresh start, right?
Why don't we
yeah.
just name him Jim?
No, it's like a cat.
Yeah.
Like you can just be like, no, he's not Carol.
Yeah, no. Your name is Jim or something really.
The trajectory shift in this story is dramatic if he's Jim.
So ridiculous.
Yeah. And he was an investment banker in London,
Did pretty
in
well.
the UK.
Did pretty well.
He actually played for West Ham United.
Yeah.
Because he was 6'5" and a physical specimen.
Mm-hmm.
He's retired right now. He owns a couple car dealerships.
Went to Oxford.
He's doing well.
Doing all right.
Yeah. Also, there would be the part of him being black, which
Yeah,
would have
there's
relentlessly give him a
A
complex.
little bit of a hamstring there, but
For sure.
yeah. Carol. He walked out of the hospital. After the shooting, he finally settled down. He had a wife and kids at this point, and a small but growing minicab business. He tried to get his son to support West Ham, but there was a problem because the team sucked, and all of his son's friends supported Manchester United. So in the late 90s, Cass pled his case to West Ham and convinced them to lift his ban so he could take his son to a game.
Wow.
His
That's
boy
this is
didn't
something he focused
understand-
on for years and spent a lot of energy doing.
Of course.
Oh, wow.
His son didn't understand why everyone they passed knew his dad's name.
Oh, man.
Cass went on to write or co-author 8 books about hooligans and 1 book about, quote, one of Britain's deadliest men, his old
And being a
cellmate,
dad.
Zulu.
Oh, about Zulu? His son's like writing a book about when you don't know your dad was a football hooligan. Dad, why are all these people scared of you?
What a great follow-up.
Right.
Zulu.
2 movies have been based on the ICF. The Football Factory and Green Street Hooligans starring
yeah.
Elijah Wood and Charlie Hunnam, or whatever his Hunnam, which features a blink and you'll miss it cameo from Cass himself.
Oh, wow.
He also had a small cameo as a bouncer in the film Cass, based on his life.
Okay.
He currently runs an independent film production company in London.
Wow.
Whoa.
And that's the story of Cass Pennant.
Jesus.
That's outstanding.
Epilogue.
Oh, there's more?
The Gollywog is still around.
Yeah.
A British jam company used a gollywog as his mascot in TV advertisements until 1988 and didn't fully retire him until 2002.
Wow. Right after September 11th, they're like, all right, retire the gollywog. The,
The
terrorists have
gollywog
won.
continues to appear in random racial incidents. In April of this year, a man was fined £250 for displaying a gollywog in his window opposite 2 Indian restaurants.
Oh, my God.
How much would that 250 pounds be today?
Dr. Bernardo's still operates today.
What?
Dr. Bernardo?
Come on down to Bernardo's.
Still uses controversial ads to make its point.
You
Oh
are
my
joking.
God.
One shows a cockroach climbing out of a baby's mouth.
Ah!
Another shows a baby being force-fed liquid meth.
I was hoping a baby crawling out of a cockroach's mouth.
Yeah, that would have been a little bit funnier. Meth?
A third has a baby tying off to shoot heroin.
Okay, that's a bald grown-up. That's not a baby.
Bernardo's still acting out there doing this?
Oh, so they still do the same thing, yeah.
Sometimes someone should tell him to slow down a little. The heroin baby's a bit much.
Heroin baby's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, there's
We're
also...
gonna need the baby to shoot it into his dick now because he's run out of working veins in his toes and
Can you
arms.
get the baby to hold the rubber tie?
For sure, we can get it a hold of it. We can get it. Look, this baby will do anything. This baby will suck another baby's dick for a crack rock if you needed to.
Kill the baby dealer?
Yeah.
He kills the baby dealer. He takes the H from them, and then he shoots it into his dick in front of everyone.
Hey, does the baby's needle look needly enough for you guys?
Nah,
use
it
a-
could be sharper and more like a real needle.
Can we get some rust on that thing?
Absolutely.
Oh, good.
Dr. Bernardo actually volunteers several of the babies from his organization. He's like, yeah, you can use these babies however you want.
Here you go. We're gonna Milo and Otis these babies, so we got a bunch of them.
We got a little extra lying around. It's a seller's market, I
Here
tell
we
you.
go. Let's do 2 at a time. Fuck it.
They had one that just shows like a boy in a bathroom, and he's in the background, and the foreground is like a man undoing his pants.
Oh my god!
Are you serious?
This is they're like the PETA of orphanages.
Oh my god!
Like they take swings.
Wow.
Yeah, they're not messing around. They're artists, guys.
The gollywog I remember very clearly, and yeah, it still pops up. And again, the racism in England sometimes is shocking. The level it remains at is like, how do you
Like friendly English racism, we're like, they're being nice about it, but they don't.
They're so public. Like we here are. I mean, there's not a good version. But in England, they like the things that I'll hear my family members say at times. I'm like, how is this possible?
In 2018?
I mean, literally.
Europe in general, because Europe is still very segregated. Like it's a pretty homogenous. Like we are oddly mixed for reasons that no one knows.
Yeah.
But it's very segregated. So every like other year, there's some controversy where a football team's fans will make monkey noises at a black player.
Oh, yeah.
Or like throw bananas at the field.
Yeah.
Oh,
For
yeah,
sure.
yeah. No, yeah. Europe's weird.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They actually, they have some crazy
And
stuff
now
going
time to
on.
announce CRiiiME's European tour coming up.
That's right.
Summer
We'll
2019.
be playing all of the nationalist conferences.
There's a lot.
Today's sources include the primary source is Cass, the autobiography of Cass Pennant, along with The Guardian, The Independent, The Winnipeg Free Press, and of course the evil robots at Wikipedia. You can get at our show on all social medias at CRiiiMEPod, CRiiiMEPod. You can email the show, crimepodcast@gmail.com with any questions, comments, story ideas, dick pics, label those for Shefsky.
Come to CRiiiME LiiVE. Patreon. Thank you guys. All the new people from Patreon.
You can
We
also give
love
us a nice 5-star review on iTunes to try to push back those mean that early mean one.
Give
the
us a
second
sexy
review we
5-star.
ever got.
I love it.
I know.
I was so excited. I told my wife, I was like, babe. And I was like, she's like, who's Gareth? I'm like, babe. She doesn't know anything, right? So
Right.
I'm like, babe.
She doesn't know
He's like, he's the Shefsky of his show. I'm the Gareth of our show. And she's like, oh. And she's like, you guys are gonna give Rich a hard time, aren't you? We were good to you.
This actually felt this was
We were
pretty-
good to you.
Yeah, I didn't take that much of a
There was
beating
a lot
today.
of love here, wasn't there?
Yeah, there was.
Oh, that's a good story. That's
Thank you
crazy.
very
Yeah.
much.
So much fun.
Solid work.
This
Thanks
was
for riffing, dude.
Yeah,
Yes, thank you for having me.
Where can people and should they find you?
Social media, I'll be on Reynolds Gareth. I'll be going to the Dollop podcast. I'll go to a lot of cities. You can go to dolloppodcast.com. And then you can go to GarethReynolds.com. I'll be in New Jersey at the end of the month, Thailand next week. And then I'll be at Seattle, I think in August or something like that.
Check out the Dollop. It's super fucking funny.
I'm sure if you're listening to this, you
probably already enjoy it a lot. So and we'll see you guys Saturday, June 30th for CRiiiME
CRiiiME LiiiVE.
LiiiVE. Bye, robot.
Love you guys. Peace.